So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm back on my BS again. Yeah, today I'm going to be dyeing a bunch of clothes again, and it's definitely for the environment and such, and not because I'm a broke shopaholic. Reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna. What can I say, it's just a great way to take all your old dumb clothes and make them new again. Make them interesting, Spicy. Ew. I hate that I just said that. So anyways, this whole thing started when I discovered that I had one piece of clothing I wanted to dye, but I couldn't because it was made out of polyester. All the other RIT dyes are more for like cotton and natural fabrics. Then I discovered they have RIT DyeMOre, which is for like anything synthetic. So today I'm going to be testing to see how well that works. Okay, talking's boring. Let's show you the clothes I'm going to dye. Okay, so first off we have some Nike shorts. There's nothing wrong with them, I just hate them. Next are these Old Navy joggers. They're just too red for me to handle. Then we have this yellow top that I never really wear. The color just washes me out. Oh, and it's missing a button, but they're ugly anyways, and I'm probably going to replace them. And lastly, we have this Patagonia Cinchilla jacket that I wanted to attempt to tie-dye. Here's my inspiration photo. Oh, and these socks. First, I wanted to test the tie-dye on the socks and an old jersey. The colors were so vibrant at first, but that didn't last long. I know this looks funny, but just stay tuned. I'll talk more about microwaving the tie-dye later in the video. The clothes looked amazing at first, but the more I rinsed, the more faded it got. And by that I mean it completely washed out. Now when it came to the jacket, I taped all the seams to try to avoid getting dye on those areas, but that didn't work, so don't do that. But yeah, after I secured it with rubber bands, I went ahead and started to mix up all the dyes. I put about a teaspoon of laundry detergent in each jar and then filled them with boiling water. My goal was a dark teal color, but the RIT DyeMOre teal is basically just an aqua blue, so I added some peacock green to it. I always test the color that I mix on a paper towel and adjust from there. It wasn't quite as green as I wanted, so I just kept adding until I got there. Thankfully, the pink shade was exactly what I was expecting. Okay, so one of the reasons this didn't turn out like I expected is probably because I poured the color directly onto dry fabric. With tie-dye, you typically should be working with damp clothing in order to help the absorption of the dye. When I was finished, I just put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the microwave. Okay, so here is my logic with this idea. With synthetic dye, it's really crucial to make sure that it's in boiling water the entire time. So I figured that maybe I could succeed at tie-dyeing if I could maintain a super hot temperature the entire time. So I stuck it in the microwave and turned it on for 30 seconds every 5 minutes. After an hour, I rinsed it out and realized that none of the dye had really stuck. Oops. And next up is the top. So I added about half the bottle of green dye and a splash of that teal blue. I wanted to make sure that the dye bath was a blue-green so that when it mixed with the yellow, the blue would cancel it out. After 40 minutes, I just rinsed it in the sink until the water came out mostly clear and then threw it in the washing machine. Okay, so similar idea for the purple dye bath. I added some blue to it to make sure that it would cancel out the red in the pants. After about 25 minutes, I noticed that the pants were just not getting as dark as I hoped. So I just removed the shorts briefly to make some room and then added more purple to the dye bath. You can really see the difference between the first test strip and this one. Then I put the shorts back in and waited another 20 minutes. Now it was finally time to replace those freaking ugly buttons. Once I had removed them, I used a Sharpie to mark the holes so that I could make sure that I put the new buttons in the same spot. I got these buttons from Hobby Lobby for like $2.50. I'll put the real price on the screen. This was my first time sewing buttons and it was surprisingly easy. I used some guy's video tutorial, I'll link that down below. Oh hi, it's the real me again. This video was pretty much a success. 3 out of 4 pieces of clothing, that's not bad at all. There was one fail. The tie-dye jacket didn't really work. If someone has a better idea than my microwave thing, let me know. Overall, the RITdyeMORE dye was pretty hard to work with. Since you can't really remove color from polyester, trust me, I tried. I had a different pair of those Nike shorts in green that I put in a bucket of bleach. It's probably still there actually, but it did not change color at all. So you kind of have to calculate the color you want to get to with the one you already have. Anyways, let me just show you. I was able to take the joggers from burgundy to maroon, which is exactly what I wanted. Well, I would have liked them to be a little darker, but you know, whatever. These Nike shorts turned out so cute. I never used to reach for them and now I wear them all the time. Okay, I'm so upset about this jacket. It did not work at all. The tie-dye did pick up well on the collar and the pocket, but yeah, sad. I might just dye the whole thing another color someday. Oh my gosh, I love the way this top turned out. It's a much more wearable color for me and it feels like a brand new piece. Also, the green made it less see-through, so yay for that. Oh, and here's the socks I did. They didn't really turn out how I thought they would, but kind of cute. These came out like a pastel watercolor. I don't hate it. Yeah, overall, this was a lot of work and I don't think I would try to mess with polyester fabric again, although I do have some swimsuits I might try to dye with that. Anyways, what do you think I should dye next? I'm thinking shoes. Leave me, a comment down there. Please help with my engagement. And like me. I mean, like this video. Yeah, that's all. Bye. Say bye. And lastly, we have this Patagonia Cinchilla jacket that I attempted to dye.